Good morning. So today, y'all, I have had my first encounter with a hornworm, and it was not on my tomatoes, which are over there. And I actually just bought some more basil to put in these beds for that reason, and I did not put the basil in yet, and the hornworm has taken half of one of my pepper plants. So I came out to check the garden like I do every day. So this is the pepper bed, right? And so this is my shade cloth because some of my peppers do get sunburn. And so when I lift the shade cloth, the first thing that I see is a pepper. Flip over. Oh, Lil B, why you want that? The first thing I see is a pepper. Sorry y'all, this bee is bothering me. Half eaten and all the leaves missing. I said, Lord, that I better not have a hornworm. So I said, well, let me look closer. I made my son come out here and help me with them because I was like, not ready for them yet. My other garden, I did not have them. But I had basil everywhere. And this year, I actually was pretty slow about putting my basil out. And that's what I get. So that's the culprit. He's over there for the birds to get him, if they want him. He's far away from my garden. And so now what I have to do is check the garden. Something else was trying to get my other lilac bell pepper. So anyway, what I have to do today is go through these beds and check for pests. And I need to put some long sleeves on because I got to do some reaching in. And I don't know what's in there. Clearly, I don't know what's in there. And I got to do some pruning. I got to check for more tomato hornworm damage. I'm going to take my shade cloth off for today to let the bell peppers get some more sun and let the insects pollinate the flowers that I see. And I got a couple of little open spots that I'm going to put some basil. So I'm going to put some here and here. And I might put one right there in the middle where I got that onion. Because over here, I have this big bush of nasturtiums, and then right next to it is a borage. And then right next to that, even though you can't tell, is a butternut squash. So the butternut squash I'm actually gonna pull up. It gave me 2 squashes, and I don't see that it's giving me more than that. So I'm gonna pull those up and harvest those today. But this is the garden in the morning. We got another rain. So we are on week 6 or 7 of rain. I have lost track. Go over there and eat that hornworm instead of worrying about what I'm doing. So I don't see more damage. So what I did was when I saw my leaves ate up like that, I said, oh my God, it's a hornworm in here. I know it is. And I said, well, number one sign of a hornworm is to look for their little grenade looking poop. And boy, I found it and about had a heart attack. I went right back in there and got my son. But look at these beautiful flowers, y'all. They're just getting taller and taller and taller, and I absolutely love it. And I'll give y'all another view of that in a second. I believe this is straw flower that I got down here. We're gonna have to do a little tour of the flowers when it stopped raining though. These are my tomatillos. I hope I don't start to see any hornworms on here. I might have to be brave and just cut them in half. But this dwarf tomato plant here is giving me ripe tomatoes. My aromas are not turning yet. They're not blushing. They're still green, and I have a whole bunch of them. And my plan with the aromas is as soon as they start blushing, I'm gonna take them all and then pull the plants, because I don't want the plants to get old and the pests to start attacking. So yeah, I got some harvest from these tomatoes. So I'm gonna come back out here with some long sleeves, because of course all of the tomatoes that's ripening is the ones that's in the back, where I gotta reach all on the inside. So annoying. This squash is still producing. And knock on wood, I don't think that the vine borer has gotten my squash plants just yet. I know she will, but she did not get me yet. My bean bed is looking amazing. I got carrots, onions. I got onions, carrots, borage. My borage is getting bigger and bigger. My onions. And then these beans these plants are producing the beans. I actually got some over here. That's why I need to put some long sleeves and come back out. Yeah. So all of these beans are producing. We've been getting so much rain, everything is leaned to one side. These are the younger plants. They have their flowers, but they don't have their beans yet. But I need to come through and do some pest control while my stuff is producing. And so this is where I pulled the potatoes up, and I planted my cabbage across the back, and then I put some basil across the front and this corn in the middle. And it looked like all of my corn came up, maybe but like one or two, but that's fine. And then I have borage right here, and then in between I have marigolds, and I just put it in mass, and I'm gonna pull those up and separate them and plant them in other places, because they don't mind being transplanted at all. So, and the type of marigolds that these are is that one there, which is one of my favorites. It's called a Jaguar marigold. It's my favorite one. So I got some chamomile that I need to get. I already harvested a zucchini and a couple of peppers. And with all this rain, the pepper's looking kind of small, so I need to fertilize it. But we're gonna keep getting rain, and I'm just like, am I gonna be wasting my fertilizer for it to just get washed right back out? I don't know. Don't know. But this is the garden back here. And like I said, I don't think I just stepped on that. That's jacked up. I don't think that the vine borer got me yet. But this is the garden this morning. This is the vegetable garden. This is the flower garden, which is looking absolutely beautiful. And then over here, this is that volunteer sunflower. Y'all remember, I had a couple of them that this one I just let go. Look how pretty that is. My daughter loved this one. Those are my artichokes that probably won't be doing anything. I'll probably pull those out and put something else right there. I might put a pumpkin in there. And then these are the green stalk stackers that I planted up with y'all in the other video. And I have sunflowers and zinnias growing. And, well, I can't think of the name of this. Coleus and daisies. So this one is doing good. Doing good. And these are my potted flowers. All still doing good. We've been getting way too much rain. And then this is the volunteer sunflower that I put in her garden bed. Look at it. Y'all, is that not crazy? That is so pretty. So anyway, that's the garden this morning. Ignore those 2 pots right there. We had to move them because of rain, and we gotta wait for the rain to stop for us to get the grass cut. So everything is actually just growing wild and crazy, but it's happy. So I am about to get some breakfast in us and then come back out here before it get too hot. Hold on, I think I see some tomatoes blushing. Uh-oh. I think I see my first Roma's blushing. I sure do. Look at that. Oh, it's on. I'm coming in there to get them. Sure am. All right, y'all. I gotta get me some long sleeves and a hood on. I will flip this camera around, but y'all might hit the unsubscribe. Because I just came out here straight out my bed. So y'all don't want to see what's on the other side of this camera. But this is the garden. When I come back out with my gear on, I'll flip the camera around. Yep, but everything is looking good. We just got way too much rain, so the grass is high. But I'm glad that I'm starting to see those Romas blushing, because I do not want a pest to take my harvest, because I have so many tomatoes up in there that I ain't got time for it to be trying to take my stuff. So I got to get to it before they do. All right, I'll be back. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful flower. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is just gorgeous. This is my first time. This is the Jekyll. I think the Dr. Jekyll. Mrs. Hyde. Oh my goodness. So beautiful. This is the first time I've been able to get it to grow. Is it? I can't see y'all because of the sun. Can y'all see that? Here we go. All right, the sun's gonna come out. Maybe that'll help us. All right, so in these green stalks, let me put this down. So in these green stalks, I have a lot of flowers. So pretty. I have a lot of flowers that I put in at the last minute, so they now are coming up, and this is one of them. That is just so beautiful. It's in here with my nasturtiums and some alyssum and a bunch of other really pretty flowers and some yarrow. This one is the one that actually has vegetables in it. This one has onions and peppers, and you can see that I already have some coming. Here's some onions. This pepper plant is not doing great. That's okay. So So you see, I believe these are snacking peppers. These are part of a bunch that I didn't know what they were. So I just planted them. And then over here, this one is clearly a bell of some sort. And then my dianthus is doing good. Got more peppers there. My alyssum is doing good. I got basil and onions right here that I just tucked in. But this dianthus is doing good. All right, since the sun is out, let me see if it'll let me show y'all. I swear I still can't tell. Glare. It's so pretty. I'll take a picture of it.
Well, us the garden, my dad's out there, stay in the free house, and he waits for the sun to stop.
Yeah, he's gonna come running in a second.
And Dundo.
So just to show you, these are all of my bigger ones. And I was like, I'm not giving up my sauce tomatoes. I'm sorry. I sure ain't. So I'm about to dry them off, lay them out on a towel. These are my little cherries. I was snatching whole vines. You ain't getting my tomatoes this year. I'm sorry.
Let it go, let it go. Ain't playing up with the guy. Let it go.
So this is not today's harvest, this is the other day's harvest, but this is today's harvest on the towel. We have peppers, we have herbs, we have tomatoes, and then these are the rest of the onions out of that main bed. And then we have these carrots. Now these carrots were not ready to be pulled up, but I'm actually going to plant in that bed, so I went ahead and pulled them. These are the only carrots that I planted, so I wasn't expecting like a huge harvest. It literally was the carrots that you see that I planted. I just wanted to interplant them with the onions to see how both of them did. And they both did fine to me. I mean, it's eatable. These are perfectly fine. I'm gonna chop them up and put them in the freezer. And then these I'm going to peel and chop them up and put them in the salad. So the Royal Burgundy green beans, I blanched those and put them in a cold water bath. So now I am about to sit them out on a towel and let them dry, and then I'm gonna flash freeze them and put them in a freezer bag. So that is today's harvest. And this is the potato harvest from the other day. They were in the garage, the skins have set. So now I wash them. I'm gonna sit them out also on the counter to let them dry, and then they will go in the pantry tomorrow. And then you just cover them with a towel. That will help get any extra water off and protect them from light until I put them in the pantry tomorrow. And so these carrots are in this water because they are going to go in the refrigerator so that they can stay nice and firm. And these onions will go in the refrigerator in a bowl. I will chop them up and put them in the freezer tomorrow. This is a piece of the garlic from one of the heads that I grew. I will process that garlic this week. All of these green tomatoes are the tomatoes that I pulled from the garden. Some of them are turning, but these are the ones that I pulled from the garden. When we were getting all of that rain, I didn't want them to burst. So this is the harvest plus a couple of butternut squash, which I have here. So pretty good harvest so far. And then now for the green beans that I harvested today. You just spread them out on a cookie sheet. All right, and now we are about to get our sourdough ready for tomorrow. So I am flouring this towel. And this is where it's gonna be in the refrigerator.